was just more of Jesus is cool, you know. And these stories are awesome. When we moved to Katy, Texas, everything started to transition for me, and that was 3rd grade. I started to gain more knowledge, kind of got more of an idea of who Jesus was. And in 4th grade was the first time through the children's ministry at Church of the Holy Apostle, which was a church I went for 11 years. And there I accepted Christ as my forever friend, is the quote we use. Because that's what they did in the children's ministry. But, essentially accepting Christ in your heart. That was the first time it happened. And as an elementary kid, you're so excited for youth group. Youth group is that next step. You're going to be with the big kids. So when 6th grade came around, I was in the youth group, and at the time they also had a new youth pastor, Shelley Sorm, and she was my first youth pastor. And at the beginning, I wanted to go to every event, every single possible event that I could go to. And so I did for the first 4 months. At that point, I felt like a total outcast. I felt like no one would include me in that. So I accepted it. I started like I was the events that my parents made me do. This had no effect on the relationship with God, but it affected my relationship with people. I pushed myself away from people, which this foreshadows of what's to come. So 8th grade, at the end of 8th grade, Shelley says that she's going away. My heart, or at least what I thought was, yes, the person that's caused me all this pain this whole time is gone. Nowadays, me and Shelley are great times to pray for this, so it's different. But that as an 8th grader, someone that felt like an outcast, I felt like she was the cause of all my problems. So in August of that year, Craig Wickerman. He's South African. He's white. He's awesome. He's the guy that brought me to Christ. That's not for too long. At first I was suspicious, should I trust this person? So I'd only go to the bigger events, slowly get in. What really broke through though is that the mission trip after my freshman year to New York, it was the first time I learned what a relationship with Christ is. That's when it all started for me. That's when the connections clicked. And Christ and God became an integral part of my life. At the same time, I made a stupid choice, which I started working at Cold Sun Creamery. And I wasn't bold enough to actually ask for Sundays off. Even though I started to like Craig, I started to like the youth group again, wanting to have that. So, but at the same time, going throughout my sophomore year, because I was getting constantly fed, because I had no concept of what quiet time is, what that meditation is with God, because that was never taught to me. I was just started to have that relationship. So me and God started to fall apart until I was, kind of in that agnostic role. Are you real? Are you not real? And this leads to the first most powerful moment of my life. We went to a Chicago mission trip. I was forced to apply by my parents. And we did prayer stations. And one of them, the whole world went silent. It's like that moment in movies when there's no silence, it's completely silent on the screen, and the person's there, and I heard the voice, "Hey Henry, I'm real. Why don't you come and learn more about me?" And I still remember it to this day as that exact moment. That's the first time God spoke to me, actually spoke to me. And if you've never had that experience, I'll tell you this, that it's God in the moment. There's no discernible facts about it, that is God. How powerful that moment, the sensations you feel, just pure bliss and amazement. So that started this whole new path for me. I became bolder. I said to my boss, I want every Sunday off. You can't, if you're not going to give me Sunday off, so I was a shift manager, and if you're not going to give me Sundays off, then I'm going to quit. So I got my Sundays off. And I learned more of the Word. I started to grow and grow to the point where I was considered one of the popular kids in the youth group, but then I didn't want them to be like I was. So I tried to include every single person possible. I didn't want anyone to be like me as a little 6th grader and 7th grader and 8th graders and completely no kids. I am able to feel like that. But also that became through a thing of trying to be more like Christ. And at the beginning of my senior year, I heard the voice again. He said, "Hey Henry, I want you to guard my creation and teach my people." Which I misinterpreted. I thought it meant you're gonna guard animals, so you love them. You're gonna teach people that animals are more than they are. That's what I thought creation meant, you know. And I said, let's do zoology. So that's what I had a passion for. So I got many signs that year that would point that I realize now that, oh Henry, you're not doing zoology. That's not what you're supposed to do. So this is my Jonah moment. You know, I'm pushing away, going the other way. God wants me to go this way. So the next fall, freshman year, University of Oklahoma, moved up there. I was super pumped, super excited for zoology. You know, we realized this is where my relationships with people is hard for me. Because I am in a new place, not that many people, like 2 other people from my school actually went to the University of Oklahoma from high school. And it took me a long time to actually find connection, but at the same time, I was starting to develop my own personal health, where I was being lonely, and I felt I got to a point where I just sleep the whole day in my bed. You know, I would feel like a worthless piece of trash. I would feel completely away from the world, and it got to a point where I couldn't shut off the chaos in my head, the voices that were always going off that I had created, and it's my fish. That is my fish. In March of 2011 or 2012, I tried to commit suicide 3 separate occasions because the voice was just so damn loud. I couldn't comprehend. I can't even put into words every feeling that I was feeling, just how much was going on. First time, my mom called, so that's why I saw it. The second time, I heard my roommate was coming in the door. Third time, he spoke to me. "Hey Henry, why don't you stick around? I have a plan for you." And you know, the moment in the movies when something comes out of the corner out of nowhere, like one of those jumps. And that's what kept me going those next 3 months, even though I was feeling the hell. So at the end of the semester, I decided, let's move back to Katy where I have actual support. I think this is better for me in the long run to become healthier. And that summer I took an internship with Craig. Now I literally ran the youth ministry there at Covert. That's our acronym. Church of the Holy Apostles. And I started to see that I can do this, you know, this is something I could do, but I kept it in the back frame. I still wanted to do zoology. I felt like this is something I could always do on the side, you know, always be involved. And because I was staying there, Craig gave me an offer. Why don't you run Wednesday nights for us? I said, okay. So I started running things, but I wasn't getting the respect I wanted. I wasn't getting what I didn't feel like they were appreciating what I was doing for them, because I had been in high school, so I thought maybe they were being a bunch of little jerks. I want to listen. At the same time, I was still going through my hell. And I said enough's enough. So on December 12th, 2012, I got diagnosed with MDD, major depressive disorder, or clinical depression. And it means I have a very low amount of serotonin and dopamine in my brain, which is inhibitions, happiness, motivation. So I started getting on that road to recovery. So I took antidepressants, started taking those to get those balance in my brain and generate more of that, so I could actually be joyful. And that's when I met John Henson at my parents' church. My parents then moved to another church and helped start another church at Grace Anglican Community. And I joined his young adult group, and that's when I found this new family. A new group of people that were older than me that could also be somewhat of a mentor. And my relationship with God started to actually go where I wanted to go. But at the same time, I started to slip away from the Covert youth group. So I'm like, this is no respect. And I already made the agreement for the Colorado mission trip that summer. So I would say that would be the final time, and I would go to the church, but I would not be involved in youth ministry whatsoever. And a week before that, John came to me and said, one of our parents backed out at the last minute. If you could, it would be awesome. No pressure though. Would you go on this mission trip with us? Which was literally the day after we got back from Colorado. And no hesitation, I said yes. And so in Colorado, I told Craig that I was gonna not work at the youth group anymore. And next week, felt appreciation for the first time. These kids welcomed me in. They didn't know me beforehand. They just welcomed me in. And my Wednesday, John didn't know the situation where I was going to leave and stop working with the youth. John just literally said, "Hey, you want to help me run this youth group?" No hesitation, yes. I'd like to. So that's all I needed. And during that Thursday worship night, he says, "Hey Henry, why don't you make the full commitment? Why don't you finally answer what I've been asking you to do for the last 3 years?" And I said, "Let's go." So that's why July, I answered my call. Full-time youth ministry is what I do. So since then, I have never felt more joy in my life. It's been good. Been feeling alive. The hell is gone. Even though there is days where I just feel like doing nothing, but the voices aren't there. It's amazing. And I went after event, I went to National Youth Worker Convention with John. I found my college to grow more knowledge. But then the next event in my life was a week before Passion. That was really a really milestone for me. Craig, the youth minister that brought me to Christ, who really brought me to Christ, was asked to step down, and emotions just flew out of me. I had a depression episode. I felt awful, but this is the first time since I've ever had an episode that I had people to lean on. It went away, and more joy has come out of that, and I haven't had this fire since then, because some people have that spiritual high and it'll last for a week or a week. Since then, that's February, and it's still going strong. And this wasn't originally in my thing, but yes, last night we had worship with our kids. I cried for how amazing God is in these kids' lives, and I just felt compelled, like out of nowhere. We never, non-scripted, we went over each kid and just prayed. It just felt so amazing, that spiritual high. That's what I want. That's what I always want. But God puts everything in our lives. Even if you're at the highest peak with God, you ask yourself something bad happens. Why did that happen? God still lets things. You think you did something wrong, but no. They're to prepare you for something ahead. Now I have my depression. I have my outcasts. I have the popular people that I can use to minister to the kids. I have these examples. I know what they're going through. I know every little hell. So, God's sovereign. He's in control of every moment. You shouldn't let anything go for granted. Everything is to prepare you for what's to come. Stay concerned with the moment. He's got the future planned.
Nice. Thank you, Henry, for sharing. Anyone want to comment or anything?
Last thing you were just talking about, man, definitely hit me big time because right now I'm at a moment in my life where I feel like my call is to do full-time ministry. And I've been with Jonathan out in Brookshire.
Yeah.
And I feel like at this time, once I finally said that I want to do full-time ministry, believing that is really my calling, I feel like the devil's just been...
It does. He comes at you.
He's just been throwing curveballs at me, and I've fallen. Like 2 weeks ago. I just said, you know what, I'm giving up. And I went to a bar, and I had no money. I went to a bar, and I went in, and it just happened to be a bar where I knew everybody inside there. Everyone that I used to smoke with, drink with, bar hop with, and stuff. And pretty much at the end of that whole night, the Lord ended up using me, bringing someone back to Christ. And at that moment, I really realized, like, man, Anthony, I've done so many years of running away from what He really has for me, and He's still guiding me. And, He just uplifted my spirit, knowing that me going through stuff, just give it to God, because obviously He has something for me, at the end. If I just keep staying strong, then...
I'll agree with you. Ever since I accepted the call, I've never felt more attacked in my life, whether it's by other people or just